What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This is your boy Narik Chase, and in this video I want to talk about my top 10 ideas for a Wonder Woman television series. Now, I know Wonder Woman has had some success at some point with its original 1960s version, and I know that they tried to reboot it several times. They had a pilot that came out in the last few years, and it did not make the cut. So I'm going to go ahead and give 10 great ideas for a Wonder Woman television series that I think will make for a very highly enjoyable, entertaining, and compelling series. There should be a minimum, and I'll go as far as to say just a maximum of 12 to about 13 episodes. I think a compelling story can be crafted within 12 to 13 episodes. Think about with the Lizzie Borden series. Think about with series like Sense8, with Marvel's Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, The Defenders, Luke Cage. Those great television stories were crafted for about 12, 13, just like about a dozen episodes, and it made for a very, the stories themselves were pretty interesting. They had various subplots. It had enough time and enough room to expand on certain subplots, and at the same time give development to the characters, and also was enough to keep the story going at a pretty good pace. So Wonder Woman was going to have a television series. It doesn't need to be 20 something episodes. It could be a good 12, 13, hell, it could be 10. But as long as it can all fit within that, I would even go as far as to say, okay, if you're going to have the series, have the episodes be like an hour long, like Game of Thrones. Very compelling story, lots of characters, lots of subplots. Just go with a good 12 episode series. That right there will tell if it will be a good series or not. Another thing, Wonder Woman needs to be able to kick all kinds of ass in this. It doesn't need to be any of this just lame fights and stuff that you see in these little sorry television shows and sorry movies and stuff like that. We need her to be badass. We need her to be strong. We need her to be able to fight, handle her own. She got to be able to take the blows. She got to be able to deliver the blows. She has to be able to exude that strength that makes her Wonder Woman. Now, I'm not the person to be all about feminism and everything, but I do understand that Wonder Woman represents that. The ability to be strong and feminine, you know what I'm saying, and still be badass. We need her to be totally kick-ass, don't pull no punches with the character, and make her fierce, but also make her vulnerable. That's one thing we need to have with the character of Wonder Woman, and that's what they need to do to actually make her stand out. Now, with the way things are now, it's 2017, so you have a bunch of kick-ass women in television series, but very few manage to actually exude that have that sexuality about her, but have strength and the commanding presence. And I think that they should focus on that a bit with her character. So if you're going to do this Wonder Woman television series, make her kick ass. One of the main concerns for a Wonder Woman television series is they need to have an actress that fits the role. Now, the original chick, again, I can't remember her name right now, but she was okay for the Wonder Woman of that time, but it would not fit here in this time now. She needs to be, she has to have the look. She has to, have a little height on her. And this is the one thing I don't want to see. Look, I'm not against anyone white playing Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman is an Amazon. So we need to see somebody that has that exotic look about her. Gal Gadot personifies that a lot. I like Olga Kurylenko, Olivia Munn, Olivia Wilde. There are a number of actresses that I guess you could say are kind of whitish, with a little bit mix of Asian in them, or Brazilian in them, or something like that, or Israeli, Eastern in them, or whatever. Look, if you're gonna go with it, go with. Don't just go with somebody that's beautiful. Don't just go with somebody that, just the biggest name. Go with somebody that fits the character, not only in the personality, but the physical aspect too. I would like to see that. Like, I don't think you could put Gina Carano on there and her acting ability is what's going to make a character stand out. True, she looks like she could play a good Wonder Woman, but at the same time, her acting chops, not so much. But like I said, I think if we're going to go with an actress, she has to look it. She can't be no 5-foot woman. It's not going to work. Give us a woman that can actually make us believe that she is Wonder Woman. That's one thing I definitely want to see them do. And like I said, they did a great job with Gal Gadot. She was perfectly cast for the role, and she owns that role. But I know she ain't the only woman that can play that role. So there's some talent out there, and I hope that they do a great job casting the character. Another aspect of it needs to be action-packed. Now, one thing I wanted to see when thinking about, because I've been watching the older Wonder Woman television series, and I watched the movies, both the live action and the animated one, it has to be action-packed. We got to see some great fights going on, whether it's Wonder Woman fighting multiple men or superpower beings. And I like in the movie with Gal Gadot, you got to see her take on like regular humans as well as the superpower beings. So if we're going to have a Wonder Woman, let it be action-packed. It doesn't necessarily need to be the most over-the-top aspects, but at the same time, it has to be realistic, grounded, and fit to her character that's established in this world. So I would like to see her do some like flipping cars over. I like to see the whole bullets fly and everything. I would like to see the explosions, and I would like to see that she's not just the center of the action. I want to see it from other characters' perspectives too. So I don't mind it being action packed, but I just want it to be grounded. I want it to look nice and flow well into the series. It goes without saying, especially with Gal Gadot's performance with the Wonder Woman movie that came out earlier this year, and with the way the new 52 is going with the Wonder Woman character, she has to have that armored look. I thought the original in the 1960s was ridiculous, and the cartoons, they play well because they're cartoons, but in real life they don't work. The Adriana Palinki, I looked at her costume, did not like it. It looked like she was going to go trick or treat or something, but it needs to be armored up. It needs to have that authentic warrior leather aspect to it. I like the mesh of it in the movie where it was armored and it had the leather or whatever that material was. It needs to have that. Also, Wonder Woman needs to have weapons. Need to bring out that shield, bring out the lasso, bring out the sword. If you want to do the whole tiara thing, I'm not sure about that. Like I said, it seems like something that'd be geared more towards the comics or more towards the animated series. But as in real life, I don't think it's really realistic. But if you must have it, fine. But I would like to see her have an arsenal of her own weaponry. Hell, I would like to see her do a bit of archery. Because I want them to emphasize not only the fact that she has powers, but she knows how to use weapons. So if you're going to go with that, bring out some really cool weapons, because I would love to see. There is no reason for there to be an invisible plane in the series. None whatsoever. I am fine with her with the ability to fly. In the cartoons, go at it. I always thought it was stupid, but fine. In the animated series, they had a good reason why that she had end up acquiring the invisible jet through the Crisis on Two Earths. She ended up stealing it from, I think, Owlman. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's a good way for her to have it. But there's no need for her to have no invisible plane. Let her fly. Let it ride like that. Whoosh, let her fly. I'm fine with that. Now, I do want the series to be set in either World War I or World War II, because I think that's a great setting to establish the character and to build on the origins a little bit. Now, whether she has already done the theory scheme, Themyscira thing of her leaving Themyscira, that's up for debate. But I would actually prefer to her to already be somewhat engaged and familiarize herself with the World War. And if not, then okay, take the movie basically and just stretch it out over 12 episodes. I know that they can do it. Also, if they are going to go with her somewhat already knowing what's going on and already leaving the home of Themyscira, I would also like to see a bit of flashbacks about how she left as events unfold. I think would be an awesome way. But I think they should set this tone in the story in either World War One or World War Two, or whichever one it was. I believe it's supposed to be in World War Two, but I know the movie took place in World War One. But it doesn't really matter either way to me, because I would like to see that there's going to be a lot of things going on, a lot of drama. There's going to be a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of war. So as far as the setting, I think it should be set in either one of those time periods. But I will say the live action did a great job of establishing that World War One atmosphere, as far as I can tell. So I think if they're gonna do anything, just go with it like that. Now, of course, everybody knows when it comes to Wonder Woman origin story, she did have this love interest named Steve Trevor that was present in the animated movie, the live action movie that just came out, as well as the 1960s and throughout the comics. I would like to see his character be in the series also. Now, I haven't watched the 1960s, and as well as I thought the guy did for the what he had at that time, we need a more smarter, more charming, and more badass Steve Trevor. I think Chris Pine did a fantastic job in the movie, but I would like to see that his character not only just play as I don't want him to be in the series just to be a love interest. I want him to actually have substance. The movie did a great job of it, but I want him to have it be his own force. If he's going to be a spy, if he's going to be a soldier, if he's going to be a general, let him have that presence in the movie to where Wonder Woman isn't on series. I don't want Wonder Woman to be just a driving force. I want Steve Trevor to be just as prominent a character, whether it's just socially, romantically, or just as a comrade. I want to see them like on equal, and I want him to be important, straight up important. So Steve Trevor, do him right. I want the character to have depth. I want the character to have his own backstory. I want to see that chemistry between these two. I want to see him be a total badass too. So if they're going to do a Steve Trevor, which I hope they do because he's a great character, do him right. Another thing I want to talk about is Wonder Woman. I want her to have her own little personal life. It seems like most of the time when you think of Wonder Woman or Diana Prince, you always just see her just be a superhero. But when it comes to characters like Clark and Wally West and Batman, you already know that they have these other lives that they're living. You don't really see people too much touch on what Diana doing. And I know that the series is going to be made and set into World War One or Two. She is going to be engaged in with the war effort, but I would like to see her character, build personality, develop, have her own life, have her own social little circle. Perhaps getting up for tea with somebody. Perhaps it's training, talking to kids, feeding birds, going out to have a good time with other people outside of Steve Trevor. It was in the original series they had Ella, but I ain't really never see Diana and Ella just go out and do fun things. I mean, I did in a couple of episodes, and I thought that was good because it shows that she has more offering than her just a superhero gig. But I would like to see that same thing applied in this television series with her just having friends, just being social, stuff like that. I mean, I know it would be about 12, 13 episodes, and that's not enough time to fully establish those characters, but it's enough time to introduce them and to give depth to the story as well as to establish her character. So I think they should just give her a personal life, let her read, let her watch TV, music, something. Just do that to help flesh out a character and not just the superhero part of it. And finally, we definitely need to have Wonder Woman fighting some excellent villains, having some of these supernatural or magical or mythological characters pop up. Hades, Cersei, people from the island. We need to have other characters, Hercules, Zeus. We need to have her just get up with some of these other characters. That was one thing I did enjoy about the movie. One thing I didn't like about the original series is you see a couple of things within the Themyscira, and all her Rose Gallery, you don't see almost none of those characters. Giganta, Cheetah. I would love to see Cheetah's character, but I think she's more modern, so those two maybe not. But some of the more mythological characters, such as Hades, Cersei, I would like to see those characters, and I would like to see her fight something magical, fight something that can actually harm her or potentially kill her. Again, I would give kudos to to Hades in the movie because that was a great addition. It was a great character for her to fight that was actually on equal footing with her, and I thought that was just great because most of the time in the movie she's just kicking everybody's butt. So if you're gonna just give us some really cool villains, like I said, mythological, magical, whatever, however, other gods, goddesses, go for it. I'm down for it. All right, then, guys. You heard my top 10 ideas that I would like to implement for a Wonder Woman movie. A Wonder Woman television series in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about it. Also, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification button to get the best of what's going on here on the Narik Chase channel. And Narik Chase, signing out.